Hi, everybody. I want to thank you. Thank you guys for joining us this evening for Recovery Warrior Talk. Tonight we have one of our very own people, Celeste Fischer. I want to welcome you to the show. First off, before I forget, because I usually do, I like to talk a lot, so I want to read off a couple of announcements that we got going on. Let's see. June 9th, which is going to be Sunday, at the Wagner Lake, we have the Unity Jam. It's going to be so awesome. June 12th through the 19th, we also have John Ward. Men's group, June 17th, that'll start at 7 p.m. We'll study on Tuesday, also at 7. And we have Thursday night NA prayer group. Friday is the Recovery Warrior Talk show. Also wanted to make sure to put out there for Chunkutecha, we have NA meetings on Mondays at 2 p.m. Also, we have Inipi on Tuesdays at 8. So all of these resources are available. You can reach out to Leon, myself, or call Chunkutecha, or come to Lighthouse and be with us. So tonight we have a very special guest. She is a lifelong friend of mine. So this trying to get this set up was tough. It was very tough. I'm thankful. Appreciate you guys waiting. I don't like to mess up the show, but there was some little things we had to get through. We had a little bit of technical difficulties, but we're back better than ever. So very thankful for Celeste being able to be here with us. And so I'm going to turn it over to you, Celeste, and you can give us your story from darkness to light.
Well, thanks, Zena, for inviting me. I feel really honored, honestly. When I had seen that my brother was on here a couple weeks ago, and just seeing all the work that you guys are doing with Leon and just all the recovery,
Yes.
like you said, darkness to light, it's so true. That's where I was, and so I thank you again for having me on the show and for letting me spread my light now. So I was born, a lot of you know, born and raised down there on the res. I did go different places, different, families. I was placed with different families and stuff growing up. It was kind of a struggle in my younger life. I won't get too deep into that because, that's just stuff that is in the past, but it was hard. I had a rough childhood, and went through a lot of things when I was younger. And which in turn, I guess I wasn't taught how to deal with things, so I just dealt with them the best way I knew how, kind of like a product of my environment too, just whatever I grew up with, what I was taught. I just kind of went with the flow. I was a people pleaser, just survived most of my life. Started having kids. I had, my first son when I was 17 years old, Cameron, who I love. And I hope he's watching. But, I was raised, that's where we knew each other, was, they're in the housing, you know how that went, we just kind of were on our own, always at whoever's house. That's just where we were, we're fed there, ate there, hung out, we practically all lived in each other's houses,
Right.
I had to grow up fast, had to learn everything fast. It's just how life went, and, and I was sitting here thinking about, about what I was going to say and how I was going to talk about things. I didn't want to think too much on that phase of my life, but what it all did lead up to my drug use, I was taught how to use, I liked it. First thing I did was drink. That was the first thing that I ever did was drink alcohol when I was 12 years old. And I really liked it. And after that, it was just all the time. And I remember doing a bunch of, what are they called? Those assessments and stuff. And they would ask how much did you drink and when? And I just knew it was all the time. Whatever chance, whoever could buy for us, when we could get the money to do it. And just, that was more important than school, And I tried, I think meth the first time when I was 15. like everything was really early for me, you know, like it's just skipping school. I hung out with the wrong crowd, um, which in turn led me to make choices that, you know, being with the wrong crowd, I got hurt. I got, um, yeah, I got hurt by a lot of people. You know, things happened to me, which I used it as an excuse to drink more, to party more, to or to be cool even, like, you know, like it was cool to try meth, you know, it was cool to try alcohol, it was cool to smoke that joint, you know, even if I was scared, I still did it, you know. But then I ended up just using it as just a survival thing, you know, sometimes.
Right.
And I took it downhill quick. Like I was in a lot of trouble, sent off as a young kid, in group homes. Just I was I was bad. I mean, I got the only
You
thing
were
for it. I
bad.
made bad choices. I made bad choices, you know. I guess I wasn't a bad person. I just made bad choices, you know, because like I said, I was a product of my environment. And I don't want to push the blame on everything and everybody, because that's not the life I live anymore. Like I'm not trying to blame the world anymore, but it happened, you know, like the world was cruel to me. And, you know, in turn, I learned how to be cruel back. I learned how to be mean back. Like it was just surviving, you know. And as I got older, it was just like the same cycle repeated over and over again, you know. And it turned me into somebody I didn't like, you know, like, when I had my kids, I tried so hard. I tried so hard to take care of them, but I just didn't have the support. I didn't have, you know, uh, it just wasn't picture perfect, you know. So, you know, I
Right.
that's all I can say is I tried and I did the best that I could. And, you know, because of the fact that they got taken out of my home and stuff like that, like I use that as an excuse. So I feel like my whole like drug and alcohol use or addiction life was using everything, like all that pain and everything, as an excuse to just keep using, or as a reason to keep using. I had my faith, you know, I was growing up, like I had you know, it wasn't, it would come and go, like, you know, I'd believe and then I'd let go, I'd believe and I'd let go. And I went to church with my grandma, you know, and, you know, I went to church with all family when I was little, traditional even, you know, like all of that. And I don't know what it was, like I just that those substances really took a hold of me, and they were way more important than anything in the world to me at that time. You know, like I went to prison. I was in and out of jail, fighting, bad relationships. Man, it's crazy. Like talking about it now, like I was telling you last night, like this is the first time I've ever done this. And so to think about it right now, like my life was a crazy mess. Like there's stuff that I've been through, that I've done, that I don't even want to even think about right now, but it is what it is. And it made me who I am. You know, like
Yeah.
it taught me a lot of things too. Like it taught me, and in all of that, like I still strive to do better. Like I still, every
That's
time that I fell, like I would fall down, I would fight to get back up, and then I'd fall down. And I don't know how many relapses I've had in the past, like of getting sober. And, you know, I had to be truly, truly broken to get to where I am now, which
mhm.
is, how many months did I say? 17 months
Oh yeah.
sober. Yeah. And I've never had that in my life. So like I said, I went to prison, I went to jail, parole, did all of that, you know, had my babies, struggled with them, lost them, went through a lot of stuff. Um, but in the end, like what it was I needed to find that I needed to find myself, and also I needed to find like God. Like when I found Jesus and what he did for us, like that really wiped away a lot. Or I found God's grace. That's what it was. I found God's grace, and to heal, and to know that I am forgiven, and to know that all that stuff is old, that's in the past. It really it brought me to light. You know, like I went to Wash Clean, you know, and I know you guys had Craig down there, which I was super
Yes.
super honored
Awesome.
to have him there. Like, I was really like commenting and stuff. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy you guys are down on my res, you know, stuff like that. But
Yes.
like, they took me in when I was at my worst. Like, this was January of 23. Yeah, 23 is when I went there. I walked there in a snowstorm because I was pregnant, and I just thinking about it now, you know, like, it makes me emotional because like I really was having a hard time. And they took me in, and I was there, and that's where I really had my spiritual awakening, or where I felt safe, you know, because I've had family and everybody that's, you know, there's a few select family members, that blood relatives, that are still there for me, you know, and I love them. Um, and I appreciate them. But you know, when we all go through our paths in life, we all go through our hard times. And so when those family members are going through hard times, you know, they can't help me. You know, we have to help ourselves. So, and that's
Right.
where I really had to help myself. I really had to take into accountability what I was doing with my life. Um, what was you know, causing all this ruckus in my life, what was the issues, and what, you know, and I had
Right.
to figure that out. And I had to really put up my boundaries. I had to let go of people, places, and things. And I had to let go and let God, you know, like that was it. Like, I had to let him take the wheel, and that's what I did. And it was hard. Like, the grieving process of that is difficult. Like, I missed, or I don't know if I missed it. Maybe it was like I felt bored or something, like life was boring, but that's normal, you know? This is
Right.
normal, to sit here and be with my baby, and to just have a supper time, or to have a shower time, a routine and stuff like
A
that. That's
schedule.
normal. Yeah, and so I was so used to surviving, and you know, just living here and there, and making all these choices. And so when I realized that I was the problem, that I was the one that had to figure it out, and that nobody else could take care of me but me, then everything got better, you know. And taking accountability for everything, you know, was a big step for me. Like, that's what I did. Like, I took accountability for everything. Like, and I was like, it's me, you know, like, I have to fix me. And that's what I did. So, you know, I've been working at my job for over a year and a half. I've just kind of cut people off. I did, you know, like, um, I just, and it sounds sad, you know, like, people, like, I have relatives that message me and stuff like that. And I'm just, sometimes I don't even want to answer them, because I just don't want to, like, I can't say no. Like, there's part of me that still can't say no. But then
Right.
now I do, because I have to, because my boundaries, you know, like, I have to just be like, all right, you know, hey, I'm in recovery. I'm been sober this long, you know,
Right.
and just kind of let them know, you know. And I think where it really is at is, if people need to find their spirituality, you know, like, I think that's where it's at. That's what really saved me, because I went through every treatment center there is in the state, I believe. I'm just kidding, no, but here in Sioux Falls, and you know,
You know, we did.
I literally did. Like, I swear I tried every program, you know. And when I went to Wash Clean, you know, shout out to Wash Clean, because you know, if you're
Amen.
ready to go in, and how he says it is, sit all the way down, you know, and just let go and let God, then that's where you want to go, you know, because there, it's a safe place to find yourself, and to just, you know, be yourself, and you know, take care of yourself. You know, they walk
Yeah.
with you, but they don't, you know, they don't carry you, you know. And so I
Right.
had my daughter there. I have a 1-year-old right now that I'm so blessed to be parenting. I have 6 other children that are slowly, they're all back in, you know, not, well, there's 2 of them, not quite yet, not back in my lives, but all of them are in my lives. And that's where it's at for me, you know, like, to be able to talk to my kids, and to be able to be in their lives, and not feel guilty, or be ashamed, or any of that stuff, like, that's in the past, is where it's at for me, you know. Like, I'm happy. It's a struggle, you know, every day. It's a struggle to get up some days, and to, do the things that I have to do. But I do it because I'm happy now, and it's the right thing, and I know, like I was telling you yesterday, like God always will give us a way out, and we just have to just pray, like, because that's where it's at, like, and trust and have faith, and
You gotta
that's what I've
believe.
been doing. hmm
Yes.
And I feel like it's so much easier that way to do it, like, and I see all my family and, like, friends and everything still out there struggling, and I got to remember that I can give advice and stuff, and I can pray for them, but I can't carry them anymore like I used to think I could, because before that's what I was about was, oh, I got to do
Trying to
this for
save
everybody else.
everybody, you know?
Yeah.
We were trying to
And
save
then,
everybody. We couldn't even save ourselves,
yeah,
but we were trying to save
yeah, and
everybody.
that was my thing. Like, I was like, well, everybody's telling me, you need to worry about yourself, Celeste. You need to do this. And I'm like, yeah, but when I help people, it helps me feel better. But that doesn't even make any sense, because, okay, I feel better temporarily, but then I'm out,
Right.
And so, like, things did get lonely there for a little bit, like I still have my Auntie Helen, who's, I think, watching. I love you, Helen. And just the other people that I should be watching, like they should be watching.
You better get
All
on
my other
here.
support, like my village, like I appreciate all of them. It's just I have to keep renewing my mind. I have to keep um like telling myself and building myself up every day, because my mind will make me go crazy. If I have too many days off, then I get kind of like in my head and think I'm bored, or whatever.
You gotta
And so,
stay busy. Like,
yeah,
that's not a joke when a recovering addict says, you gotta stay busy, find something to do. Like, that's not a joke. Like, we cannot get bored, we cannot fall short.
yeah. And grief, that's what that really kept me down for a long, long time, was losing a lot of people that were close to me. When that happened with my brother, and he went to prison, or when my cousins passed away and stuff like that, like it gave me a reason to just, like, oh, and now it's different now. When I know somebody, when they pass, it's because they're going to heaven, and that's where they're in a better place, and I see it differently, and I don't use it as a reason to use, or to get drunk, or to get high, or, like, it's because before, like, yeah, I would just numb the pain, and now,
Right.
like, I have feelings, but that's what they are, is their feelings. Like, we should have feelings, we're human beings. Like, it's what we do with them. Like, we're allowed to feel sad and hurt and happy and, depressed or whatever, we just have to just push them away or pray about it, give it all to God, like, that's just,
Yeah.
yeah. And I know, like, people see me now, or if they listen to me now, like, I'm like, it's a whole different heart. Like, I have a whole different heart than I was a year and a half ago. My heart was so mad. My heart was so broken. And then I just had to pick myself up out of that. And I had to just do it. That's just what it is. I had to trust, and I had to believe that God will help me and get me through all this, and that
You had to
alcohol and
surrender?
drugs are just, yeah, like, truly. And I was scared at first, like, when I remember sitting in that group room downstairs at Wash Clean, and I was like crying because I didn't want to lose that. Like, that's where I felt God's grace. That's where I knew everything was going to be okay. But
Right.
I was scared that I was going to just make that next bad choice. And that's that mind, that lying mind, that makes you think that you're not worthy. You're not, like, you're not
Right.
capable, or, like, we're all worthy. We're all loved. We're all, we're all
Yes.
God's children. So, and that's just how it is.
I'm
And
just sitting here because I'm just in awe. Like, I just love you so much, and it just means so much to the people, especially I get just tenderhearted when it's one of our locals to be just because it's rough here. And it's rough in a
Mhm.
lot of places. It's not just here, but when you can see a childhood friend come to light, you know, because you and I were in prison together, you know, like
Mhm.
we were in bad shape, you know, and I remember when it was your time for you to go eat lunch and I would run to the window just to see you, just to say hi. Like I would watch the clock just to see you. And look at now we're live on a live feed, sober today, encouraging and
Both
sharing our
pregnant.
huh?
Remember, we were both pregnant. That's the worst, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, we were. We were. I think the first time you were when I was in there, you were pregnant, and the second time then I was. I think but that is just, I mean, it's funny and not funny because that's just kind of sad. But I'm just so thankful. I just get like, it's just so beautiful to see it in our one people. I mean, in all people. But when you have a
Hmm.
relative or somebody so close, because I always like to think sobriety is the new trend. Like I just want to, I just like feel just warm hearted when I go to bed at night thinking like, you know, like sobriety is the new trend. Everybody's going to start doing it. And it's so good to see and it's so good to feel, you know, and when you have somebody like a familiar face and just like come from the same streets, the same housing, the
Yeah,
same
and that's
housing.
what, like, we can't be judgmental, like, and that's how it is, like, in my recovery walk, like, I see the same people or the people that I ran with or the people that I used with, and I'm just like, I don't ever look at them like you or whatever, you know, like are better or whatever. Like I want to let them know that they are loved. Like everybody is loved. Like, and there is a way out. You know, like I'm not gonna help them to get the next high because I know how that is because that's what I did. I manipulated and conned and did everything to get the next high. But I will give them a hug. I'll give them encouraging words. I'll pray for them. You know, because that's what we need. When we give up on an addict, then they give up, you know? And that's why
Right.
we just need, that's why I'm so, like, what you guys are doing is so amazing. Like, you guys have to just keep going. Like, like, I'm proud of you, Zena. I really am. Like I said, coming from the same background, coming from the same, hometown, everything, like, it's good to see that you're doing all this. And I know it's hard work. Like I was telling you too when we were
No,
talking,
it's a
like,
piece of cake. Only took us a half hour to get on my feed.
I know. I was like, I don't know, but like I was starting to get
I don't
second
know
thoughts,
about
but I'm
this.
like,
Seems yeah, sounds
yeah,
made up.
we're not gonna give up.
A little
Can't
sketchy.
give up.
Yeah. Mm.
But we're here now and we did it. And like, I'm proud of my brother Joey who was on here, like, to go through so much pain and to keep going and striving to do better for the net, for our youth, for anybody that's younger than us, to even for anybody that falls, like I remember my son when he graduated from high school, there was his paperwork or, where they do the senior spotlight or whatever. And it said,
Oh yeah.
who his inspiration was. And he put me as his mom because every time I fell, I got back up, and I want him to know that if you ever fall, you can get back up, you got to keep trying, you got to keep getting back up. And, and that really, I always think of that in my head, or even when I'm out there telling advice, or I'm like, when I was in group or something, like that really was inspirational to me. Like, yeah, I'm going to get back up. I don't know if I don't know if I have another fall in me, but like I'm just going to keep going today because,
Right.
today I have to live in today. Because if I think too far ahead or if I think in the past, because that's what always like what always kept me down was thinking in the past, like, like
Or living
dwelling
in
on
the
the
past,
past.
you're always going back
Yep.
to that.
Hmm. And I don't ever want to look forward because I'm an anxious being. So like I have to give up all that stuff to
Just
God every day.
sweating.
Like, yeah, I can't look too far into the future because I freak out, And I have to remind myself, you're living today, Celeste. You can only control today. And
Oh, there's so
so,
much beauty though living in today. Like there's just
mhm,
so much. It's just, I mean, I really love Joey's story. I love your story, everybody's story. And ultimately, the best thing about it is that they found God. And I think not
mhm,
only did they see their worth or feel it, but they start that's where the healing process started. Like they were able to love themselves and they were able to unravel all of that pain, like use all of that pain and trauma and give it all purpose. Like give
Mm-hmm.
everything, like giving the glory to God and give it. And then there just comes a time where then you have an understanding, and like
Yes.
it's so beautiful to see in your face right now, Celeste, that you're okay with your past. We were mad for so many years and we used it to stay high, used it to
Yeah.
stay drunk, and now we turned all that pain into purpose. And it's a beautiful feeling. And I think everybody deserves that. And if I were, I mean, and I know that this is yours, but if I were to give anybody any type of thing, it's to just start healing. I mean, I invite a lot of people to church. Like I invite
Yes.
people to Inipi. Like I come to Sweat. I would go to Sweat and I come to church. I attend a couple churches, just
Yeah. And
depending
to
on
be around people like that, like fellowshipping with people that have the same heart, same view, or that, that want to help you, that don't look down on you, that understand. Like with Wash Clean too, like that was what really helped me too, was Craig. He was a mess. You know what I mean? When he started, and if like he and we all were, but for him to do something like that for people like us, like I thought that
yeah,
was, and for him to understand, like they don't come in and they don't stare at you like, ooh, she's coming down or whatever, because they came
right.
down before.
Our
You know what I
method,
mean? Or and stuff like
yeah,
that. Like, yeah, they've been there, done that, and that's the good thing about, being around fellow addicts is you feel better, you feel at home, and we should always be lifting up each other because we need that, because we
mm,
can bring ourselves down so fast if we don't have people to bring us back up. And that's why we need God too, because you know once we find that love, there's nothing else.
yeah. I mean, just getting saved, yeah, it's a beautiful feeling. I'm so thankful that the people, the support that we have, the surrounding support in the areas, it means so much to me. So I want to say thank you for even
Yes.
the acknowledgement of that and you just coming on, and because it is sometimes it's tough, but it's not defeating enough for me to ever quit. Because I suppose if I really had to, I could sit here and talk by myself.
Yeah. Well,
So
remember I
you're
was
gonna
telling
have
you
to be
too.
my backup if I ever need to call you. Be like,
Yeah.
remember you did me
Well,
a
remember I
favor?
was telling you, like, I'm probably gonna need about 5 years of sobriety, which I'll have, but like before I can even start to do some stuff like that, because like I said, if I think too far into things, but yeah, you guys do an amazing job, and anybody that does the field work of addiction is you guys are warriors. It's so true. You guys are. We
No,
all
you
are,
were too.
for getting that strength.
We lost her. She'll be coming
Better
back
life.
on. Oh, there you go. So I have a question. Like I personally have a question. If you were to give any like type of advice, or if you were to share anything, what would you share with, like we talked about an addict getting bored? What would you share? What would you do in those times?
I had to learn how to sit still, how to be still, I guess is what it is. So I always had to either pray or read, or stop listening to like a lot of the things that you used to listen to. Like I stopped when I
Are you
went to
talking
Wash Clean.
music?
Yeah, like honestly, like when I always had earbuds, and that's why I had to go buy earbuds today. I always had earbuds and a speaker, and I had all my music accounts, and because that always drove me back into thinking about um the past life, or it made me think every song was tied into something. So I
Right.
stopped it. I stopped listening cold turkey to music, even like Christian music, like all of it. I just learned how to sit still, and it took some work. I did a lot of reading. I did a lot of meditating, doing like devotionals and stuff like that, or reading my paperwork, or even just scrolling through Facebook, honestly, because that's just, I see a lot of uplifting on my timeline, with people in recovery and stuff like that. There's always negative, but there's always going to be negative out there. There's always going to be that no matter where you go, there's always going to be something that's negative. But, I try to find the positive in everything. And I try to remind myself that this is normal. I have to tell myself that almost all the time. Like, I don't know how many times a day I have to tell myself, you're not bored. You're not bored. Or this is just a feeling, like it's not the end of the world, it's going to be okay, or talk to people, reach out. That's like a big thing. Like, cause like if you don't, then that's where you start to manipulate yourself and, you get too much into your head and stuff like that. Like reach out to whoever, pray, 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 pray.
How important is your your unity, like your family? I don't know if you are in NAAA or anything, but
So,
that type of your unity, how important is that to you
so
on a daily?
mine is my spirituality is what keeps me safe. I don't make it to a lot of NAAA meetings. I do. I was doing a lot of classes at Wash Clean in the evening time, but like just being in the Word, or just reading a lot of different devotional books, stuff like that. Like that's where it's at. Like, I can always go to like the AA or NA app, but like really having my relationship with God is where it's at for me. I know
It
AA
kind of
and
just
NA
takes
was
over, right?
right.
It seriously does. It just takes over that the need of NA and AA, and it's
Yeah,
a
and
beautiful
that's a lot of people are like, well, you're gonna need to do the steps and stuff like that. And I'm like, and if that's the case, I'm open to it, like of course but right now not having a vehicle and being a single mom and having a little baby under 1 was really hard for me to make it to meetings and stuff like that. And so I just I did it the way I did it and it worked. So, and reaching out and talking to people in recovery and stuff like that. Like Wash Clean really helped. I needed to go in, sit all the way down and stay put. That's just what I needed to do. And that's what I did.
right.
And it took me
Well,
cutting off a lot of people, like even family members and stuff like that. But it is what it is, like it's not that I didn't love anybody any less. Like I said, I had to take accountability for myself and do what I needed to do.
what are some of the accomplishments that you have done since sobriety? Like what achievements?
Well, I'm becoming the
Things that you
mother that I've really, wanted, like I'm really healing in that sense, being the mom that I always wanted to be. Like God gave me another chance at another, at my baby, and I'm doing everything I can to do what I need to do for her. And that means taking care of myself, and I've been at my job for over a year and a half. I've got promoted up to development manager or crew trainer, but got a raise and a promotion, which never,
right. I
never,
mean that, and those are steps, those are little milestones, keeping a job, being a healthier mom, being
Mhm.
having those healthier relationships, and just our children truly
And
are
I
our
graduated
heroes.
Wash Clean. I left there and I came to the place where I'm at now, which is, I don't want to say a step up because I said a step up. I was saying a step up, but then when I seen this pastor, he's like, there's not a step up from Wash Clean, but like it's kind of, I'm a, kind of put me in my place there, but like I'm on my own, but I still have somebody to walk with me and to guide me and, like, and I have opportunity to save up. And I was just gifted a car, which is kind of a work in progress. I got to get it fixed, but
Gifted?
yeah. And so,
Nice.
um, yeah, just like a couple days ago. So I'm gonna go get my license on Tuesday, and I'm just trying to do everything the right way. Like I don't need no more tickets or fines or court costs. I got off probation. Oh yeah, that's a big one. I got off
Completed, right?
probation. Yeah, completed. I'm off paper forever. So
Yay!
yeah, that was a huge accomplishment. And my PO was really good to me. Like he met me halfway, which in turn gave me enough responsibility to do what I needed to do. He wasn't too hard on me, but he also would come and make sure that I was okay too. So
What
I've
are
been blessed over the past year and a half with people helping me, and like I think I've always had that support. I just never used it.
right? We
Hmm.
yeah.
I have a village
I
now, and
totally
I'm
agree with
grateful.
that. Huh?
I said I have a village now, and I'm so grateful.
Oh, our family. I always look at it
Yeah,
like I have a whole new family. I mean, even at home, I have my kids are happier, it's better, everything. And then I have a church family, and then I have an NA family, and it's just like you can trust people, you can be
yeah,
yourself, you can be the real
and they can
you.
trust me. I
Yeah,
can be
that's the
trusted.
biggest
That's
thing.
a
They
huge
can trust
accomplishment.
us. You know,
I know.
that's the best feeling ever when we become reliable and we
Yeah.
become dependable. Like, you know, it's just a beautiful, beautiful feeling. What are times for wash clean services so that others can come?
So they have a Wednesday night service. They actually partnered with Falls Church because they're at a different setting, but you can look on their page and it'll tell you. But Wednesday nights I go to their services the doors open at 6 and it starts at 6:30. And yeah, that's what they got going so far. Sunday I just go to the Falls Church that they go to, but
Oh,
because they
so
did have this.
they don't have something every night?
Oh, for well, you would probably have to contact Craig about that. They don't invite. I'm not sure how that goes. It changes from time to time, but like you'd have to ask Craig or Nikki about it. And I know that maybe if like a speaker wanted to go or something, you'd have to talk to them. Like, but they have open services
On
on
Sundays.
Wednesday.
On Sundays for church. What time?
So they partner with Falls Church, so they go to there on Sunday at 10. But
Okay.
it's a different pastor that speaks. But Wednesday night is their service, their worship service and everything at 6:30.
Oh, in the evening. Okay.
Yep.
Six starts at 6:30. Because he did tell us that. And I just kind of it was so awesome to have him here.
Yep. I was super proud of that. Like I was like, how come I didn't get to go? How come you didn't take me? But I was working and I got my baby and I didn't say that to them. They're probably hearing me say that now, but no. But here
Just
I
over
am.
there, just mad.
Yeah. But here I am
Well, I
now. I'm
always
just kidding.
yes, I'm so thankful. And I always just assume because I say it, like I always advertise on here. If you want to be a speaker, we're more than happy to have anyone. Like you don't have to be hunked one. You don't have to be native. You don't have to be these
Mhm.
drugs do not discriminate. Alcohol does not discriminate.
No, they
It does
don't.
not, and these types of things when we can come together and we can gather and shed light and give hope. It's for everybody. And sometimes, like, I really don't want the people to get discouraged to be like, oh, well, they only got this many views or only these many people share it, because there are so many behind the scene um, hopeful moments that we get, that just, it's, it's amazing, so I just don't
Even
really
if I
ever want,
could Even if
huh?
I could just have you listen or whoever is on the microphone, you know what I mean? Like even if that's a seed planted there, like if I could help
Yes.
one person, that's all that matters.
And it truly does, it always does. It just, I think the best thing is to just give us a try. I mean, for those of you who are listening and those of you who are in the dark or maybe battling something or suffering from addiction and maybe you just don't know where to turn, you kind of have that hopeless moment or you just feel lost, just please reach out. Like
Hmm.
it's so life saving. There, you fit right in with me. That's where I came from. Where you're at is exactly where I sat. You're sitting in my seat. And I just got out, and all I did was get out of the dark. That's all I did. I got up and I walked away, and it is tough a little bit, but it is doable. It is manageable, and it's way better. And it's free over here. You have no chains. You can break free from addiction and all of that. And it's just, I just really encourage you, and I encourage everybody to give yourself a chance. And it's beautiful. It's for everybody.
And it's so worth it. Like everybody's so worthy. Like, you're all so loved, and it's hard, like Zena said, but it's worth it.
Right.
Sure.
And it's never too hard. Don't let me scare you. It's not too hard. You can handle. You can handle. We've been through worse. We've did more crazy things.
For real.
Then sober up. So put your pants on. Let's go.
That's so true. God. Sometimes it's good to laugh about some of the things that we put ourselves through, like, and that's healing too, like when you can talk about the crap and laugh about it, because it's just like, geez, like, what was I thinking? But to be able to laugh about it and not feel guilty about it is, that means it's just because you owning up to everything and just letting it go is
finally owning it, like that shame, that guilt, all of that stuff, and like just owning it and being okay with it. Like, that's one of the things I really like to speak on. Like, I really enjoy, and I want all my viewers, my friends, my relatives, I love you all. I am not ashamed of anything that I did. I don't care if it was my drunkest moment, my highest moment, it don't matter. Sketched out, whatever. Like, it could be my darkest hour. I don't care. I want to share.
You can't change it. Yeah, it is what it is. Like, it happens.
And I know that I'm not the only one. Back then, I always thought I was the only one that thought that way, went through that, that whole mindset. No, we all, we're all the same. We are all the same. And so, like, everything about me, I'm willing to share. And I know, like, and I know that you are, Celeste, because we're at the point in our life where we're ready to help the others, like, we're ready to give back to the communities because we see the pain that we caused, and now we want to give it all back, like, put back in place what's supposed to be there. And we're stronger together. We're so much stronger together.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to do this without everybody, encouragement, without kind words, without, anybody. Like, you can't do it alone. You can't. You think that it's lonely, but no, it gets better. You can't.
Right.
And just remember to always honor your feelings. Like, that's, like, honor your feelings. Like, that's all they are. Because I feel like that's where I got in trouble a lot, was my feelings were, like, I don't know, they weren't real, or sometimes, like, I don't know, I never felt them.
Kind of validate your feelings, right?
Yeah.
Or be okay with them, or even identifying them. When I was younger, I didn't know what was what. I couldn't tell sad from mad, from angry, from disappointment. I didn't know. It was just like raging anger when I was mad. Like, it couldn't just be like, oh, she's kind of mad a little bit. It was like, 0 to 60. And then when I was sad, I was like bawling sad. Like, there wasn't just like a, so it just always took it to the extremes. But so I have a question, Celeste. What would you, for like all of our little relatives, all of the 15, 16, 17-year-olds, even 13 and 14, because we all lived, we've come from here, and it's not that this place is the worst place and all these tough times, because it's everywhere. But what would you, from the experience of your life and when the age at that time for you, what would you advise them?
Go to school, like, and just let the teachers teach you some things, listen, like, just soak all that in, read books, like, like
dare to be different, like,
like, and get that education,
make a goal,
yes, and you have to write them down, like, I think going to school is you know, like I know some of that stuff we may not need, but we do. Like, and it gives you a better life. It gives you more opportunity to do
Yes.
things at that age, and then you don't have time to mess around and get into other things and do, you know, make other different choices. You know, like I just at least get that diploma, and then you know you can work and um figure out your life from there. You know, but as a teenager, like finish school, finish high school. You know, like and then yeah, even
And
if
if
it's
you
through
can't do
GED.
that, there's GED. You know, there's things.
Yep.
Don't I really want to remind the people and the children, like, don't give up. If I could, if
Yes.
I could, if I could had to share something with you, just don't give up on yourself. Do not settle. Do not settle. Like, keep going. Find another route. Go another way. Go another direction. You know, and like the best thing you can do is do it scared. That's
Yeah.
that's the best thing you can do. If you let fear control your life and stop you from doing anything, from accomplishing anything, that's exactly what you're gonna get.
Because fear
Nothing.
is a liar. And I had to just come to terms with what fear is and what it means. Like we should fear God, but that's a healthy fear. Like I was even discussing this like in a devote, like we'd have our morning devotionals and I'd be like, I don't want to. Fear to me was scary, but that's all lying, you know, like that's fear is a liar. And there's healthy fear and there's, you know, the ugly
Right.
fear.
Right. Yes. Well, we probably I was trying to stick it with you for like exactly the hour. Not that I'm rushing you because it was very good to see you, very good to catch up. And I want to remind you, and I want to remind all the speakers that just because you have come on one time, you know, does not mean that you're not welcome back. Because every day we accomplish something beautiful, or there was some type of healing, or there's some type of reflection, or there's something in our life that somebody out here needs to hear. The hope that we go through, the hope that we just endure on a daily basis, sobriety brings through life. You know, 6 months from now, you may have something that you need to share, and so we're always open. You know, oh shoot, what happened there?
Because it only gets better.
I just took out a comment. So just wanted to share with you, Celeste, sorry if you see me going off the screen, but Joey Hopkins, proud of you, sister, and I love you.
Oh, I love you too, bro.
Frankie,
Proud of you too.
yes. Frankie says, amen. Thank you so much for sharing. Courtney Sully, hey, I just seen you when I was when I was getting some chow at McDonald's. Very proud of you.
I know, I remember that too. I see a lot of like fellow honked ones coming through that drive through. Some of them don't say hi because I think they're like, wait, is that her?
Do a double look.
Yeah.
Andrew Johnson, the new trend, and I love that. The more we share stories of strength, courage, and hope is what our communities need. We can start building that healing forest. Yes, amen to that.
Amen.
Greg Zephyr says, hang in there, my niece. You are a strong woman.
Thank you.
Yes. So I'm just in awe still. I just absolutely love God. I absolutely love this whole system. And you know, it doesn't even matter for me. Sometimes, you know, you kind of get this alone feeling, or you kind of think that nobody's gonna watch or nobody's really, but it's overpowered and it's overtaken and it's consumed by God and goodness. Like that fear, that little bit of doubt that may try to creep in my mind, you know. And to just have somebody like you come on the show and speak and just be so open and have this really good, pure energy. And that's for all of my speakers. Like, I wish I could just through this with it, just be like, thank you, because you guys truly are the stars near and far, you know. Some speakers we have right in here, and I just want to thank everybody for watching and always sticking with us and making Recovery Warrior Talk something we need, like keeping it is.
My brother was trying to give a shout out to you too, Zena and Leon and Derek, you know, like I'm trying to instill it in his head, you know, that we can fall down and we can get back up, you know, like our God is a God of second chances, third chances, fourth chances, you know, and so I want to be in a good place for when he does get out again. And I wasn't, you know, and I can't blame myself for him going back in, but he says that you guys are doing great things too, and he wants to come on the show when he gets out, and he wants to try again, you know, and he's doing everything he can to do the right thing in there, to get out and taking the right classes again. And you know, and I have to keep reminding him every day that people, places, and things, like that's where it's at. Like, get out and focus on yourself. Like, like you have to. Like, that's what you got to do. Don't worry about me. Don't worry about nobody. Worry about yourself, and I'll be here doing the same thing.
Right. And that's what, you know, that's one thing I really want, why this was developed, you know, with Leon and I, was that Leon and I would struggle, like trying to figure out why we sat here at an NA meeting in an empty room so many times. You know, it was empty. and so it was like, you know, Leon and I would talk and we're like, we need to meet them where they're at. You know, like we need to meet them on their little device, which user or addict or, you know, somebody doesn't have their phone out, you know, watching Facebook or watch, you know, whatever. And so I was like, meet them where they're at, you know. But one of the things also so we got this part done, right? We get to go live and we get to come into people's homes and encourage the communities, all communities. We get to encourage America. But like, one of the things that I really look forward and want to do is for our brothers and sisters that are out of sight, out of mind. You know, because this ball started rolling, you know, Recovery Warrior Talk. You're part of it too. You are a recovery warrior. You all are. Those of you who are out there, you got sobriety under your belt, you're kicking addictions butt every day. You know it's tough, but you're fighting the good fight. You know, that's the warrior in you. That's what it is. But I mean, to go into, like, even for Recovery Warrior Talk, to go into areas like prisons and give people hope, you know, and go into facilities, into treatment centers, out onto the street, you know, to remind the people that, you know, and if we do it together, you know, I remember Leon, he was the parade in Sioux Falls, and he had this great banner. Like, he started it way back then. Way back. And I don't know if it was like Native American Day. Leon needs to be here. But I think it was Native American Day parade. And I wanted to be there. You know, I wanted to be there, and I was just like, Leon's thing, I'll kind of let him, you know, have the glory. And Leon is such an awesome person. I mean, he just was like, glory goes to God. You know, this is for all of us. This is everybody's. Whoever wants it, you know, whoever wants writing, get it. So these types of things is for everyone. Please tell your brother, we look forward coming very soon. And I trust and believe that everything he needs to do to be a part of this. And this is for all of you out there, for anybody.
Yeah, he's going to be pretty proud that I was on here. I didn't tell him because I haven't answered the phone. He always calls at odd times, so it's when I'm busy.
Yes, I'll answer Recovery Warrior Society, and we look forward to it.
Who?
Recovery Warrior Talk.
Oh, okay.
Like all of us are Leon. I don't want to name out everybody's name. I don't put everybody on blast.
Yeah.
But I think, unless you have any shout outs, Celeste, or you have anything else you would like to share with the world.
I just want to shout out to you guys, you know, for inviting me on here. And of course, all the glory to God, for his grace and for helping save me and for being with me through all of this, all of us,
Amen.
for giving us everything to be able to do any of this, and to giving us all the strength to keep fighting and to live, and that's what he wants us to do, and to look to him. And also just and I know my Auntie Helen's watching, and I love my son, and I everybody out there, you know um I don't know if anybody really knew that I was, you know doing right this past year and a half, but hey, here I am. And
Hi.
washed clean, like that's my family. They love me and my daughter, like, and they did a lot for us and helped me get on my feet. Gave me the car, everything. Dylan, Nikki, Craig, everybody there, Leslie, all my family there, so, and I just want to shout
Angels
out
in
to,
disguise.
all yeah, angels in disguise, and all my support, like I have Mindy, I have Beth, I have Tammy, I have, all of them that are all there. There's my baby. You hear her? I think she let me talk. God is so good. She was quiet the
God did
whole
that.
hour. And so,
Yeah, that's why we didn't start on time.
yeah.
So
But yeah,
you
it was
just got
good.
another one,
This was
another
good.
shout out from Jewel Brewer. Awesome, Celeste. Happy and proud of you.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Your sister too, Jewel. Speaking of jewels,
She's probably watching too. She knew it was you. We were
yeah.
out rummaging, but
I just love her too. But, grew up with you guys. Like, you guys mean a lot to me. So,
well, I love you too. I appreciate the shout out. Um, Before we leave, I want to thank the Lighthouse Scott Ulrich for giving us this opportunity and for his obedience. And I want to give um, all the glory to God again. It's an amazing thing, and I'm just happy to be here to help. And thank you all for watching. Please like, please share. Those of you who want to reach out,
yeah,
those of you who
don't
feel
be
it,
afraid.
find somebody comfortable enough to talk to and just give it a try. That's all I have. I love you guys. I'm praying for every single one of you. Yes, thank you again for all your positive energy, your feedback. I love you, and I will see you soon.
Yes.
See you at
Thank
McDonald's.
you,
Save me
everyone.
some.
Good night.
All right. Good night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great.